I'm Paul Winston with Insurance Thought Leadership, and it's my pleasure today to be talking with Juneen Belknap. Juneen is a partner in PwC's Insurance Advisory Practice. So welcome, Juneen.
Thank you. Great to be here talking with you.
So PwC has, for several years, really been out in front of this insurance innovation, digital strategy, and even InsurTech movement before it was called that. And I'd love to hear just what your priorities are and focus in that area, how you see the industry doing.
Well, thank you, first of all. We try to stay ahead. We are really excited about all the innovation that is happening within the insurance industry, whether it's changing digital experiences and really serving customers in a new way, whether it's creating new products or just injecting some of these new InsurTech capabilities into the legacy ecosystems of a carrier. So we are really excited about everything that's happening there. I'd say one of the things that we've spent a lot of time on in the last couple of years is thinking about what's the right framework or philosophy to bring some of these new capabilities in collaboration with legacy technologies and really drive differences and differentiation for carriers. And so, we've coined the Converge framework, which we think really does depict how people can think about the convergence of legacy technology, of modern new InsurTech and other technology innovation and capabilities to really drive differences and changes. So we're excited about helping carriers as they're on that journey, knowing that it really is a journey. It takes time, it takes a strategy and planful implementation to make some of these changes.
So the Converge, platform or model or approach, you're working with legacy systems, but you're also plugging in, solutions from some of these new companies. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
So
it's
pulling these all together in a coordinated, impactful way.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, and ideally, integrating some of our analytics and AI capabilities to show how all of these individual parts can be greater, as they come together as a whole. So some of it is depicting, what's the art of the possible, what could insurance of the future really look like. Some of it is also actually, getting on the ground and getting through what's the difficult decisions and trade-offs you need to make as you're looking at integrating some of these technologies.
So I think recently PwC announced one of those, collaborations as part of Converge, perhaps, with Juneen Labs.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So Juneen Labs has been exciting to work with. We think that what they're doing is really interesting in the small commercial space and trying to give more data and insight and power to an underwriter with less work for them to individually go out and do all this research or, make an agent do all this research. So, basically what we've done is exactly what I talked about in the model for Converge. We've integrated their data and API services into one of our cloud legacy policy admin environments to allow an underwriter to see, basically just by entering a business name and address, basic contact information, a whole host of data sources and information that's brought back about that business that can really quickly give a risk score and an indication of should this be a referral or is this in our risk appetite, as well as social data, all sorts of historical data from a wide variety of sources all in one place. So again, we think that's really powerful to show, what could an underwriter do with access to this information really quickly. But also, now that we have this ability to get this data, how can we re-envision the whole underwriting process altogether, or the whole quoting process altogether, and what other barriers and challenges does that really bring down and change for a customer ultimately? So that's been an exciting partnership.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, Juneen's the latest example of that kind of collaboration. Are there other sort of technologies or startups or InsurTechs that you've worked with?
There are a number. We've done a lot of really interesting work with Snapsheet. So we're working with a number of clients with Snapsheet, excited about what they're doing to reimagine the claims experience. I personally have spent a lot of time working on PwC's financial wellness solution, which we've built in collaboration with a fintech called InvestCloud, and have basically built that experience, really in combination with all of our data and analytics to show a really personalized experience for a client to say, what are people like them doing? How can they simulate future changes to drive better financial wellness outcomes for themselves? So that's another example. And we've got, a number that we're working on in the field of automation and bots and AI. So we're continually working with the wide range of insurtechs out there to understand who's really doing something new and exciting that we think has real value for our clients.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask a question, get your perspective on how do you think the industry is doing? It's been on this journey, this path of innovation and transformation and tech, adoption for several years now. Just how's it look from your perspective? Is it getting there? Is there still a ways to go? What do you think?
I could answer it both ways. We're getting there. I think there's still a ways to go.
Yeah.
So I don't underestimate the challenge that our clients deal with in trying to see what's really out there and what's robust enough to support their enterprise needs. How do they really bring it into their environments and make it work with their strategies? So, I never underestimate that is a challenge. I do think that many organizations are much more open to exploring and to piloting and to testing and learning and seeing what really can work for them, what can drive real outcomes, real impact, internally and with their customers. So I think that's a positive. I think we've done a lot in technology also with, everyone's talked about microservices and, that evolution and making it easier to integrate some of these
Take the pieces.
Yeah. And I do think we've made a lot of progress there. I think that it's still a challenge for organizations to be focused on what's the right architecture for the future that really can enable this kind of rapid change.
Right.
So it's an evolving process, but I am encouraged to see more experimentation, more testing, more openness to the philosophy that we don't have to build everything ourselves.
Right.
We really can get the best from outside, and that doesn't always have to be from the vendors that have been around for 20, 30, 40 years. There is new that can be really powerful that we can test, right? So I think that's exciting. I do worry some about how do we take this innovation and these new capabilities and not immediately destroy them in our legacy environments and build the right kinds of metrics to allow for real testing that has a chance at success. So it is sometimes disheartening to see when there are acquisitions that don't end up panning out to get some of these capabilities, but I do like the continued focus and experimentation.
Excellent. Well, Thank you very much for sharing that with me today, and we'll look forward to watching PwC and your relationships and achievements going forward.
Thank you very much for the time. I appreciate it. It was great talking to you.
Thanks, Juneen.
Take care.